Yeah, I wanted to see Usher.
I love Usher.
I love him too, but you know, he didn't sing a lot.
No.
It was like he was dancing too much to
Too
sing.
much.
Like,
That's what I said to John.
yeah,
too.
he didn't like sing anything.
It's hard to sing while you're dancing.
And he didn't do Papers, my favorite song.
I
Was he
know.
really singing, you think? Like, do they really sing?
Yeah,
No.
I think he
Yeah,
was.
I think it was.
I think there was a track in the background, and then he was
Yeah.
really.
Mm. Yeah, it
They
was
usually have that pretty rigged up.
Hey, Chris and Dominic.
They should have
Thanks
just
for
had
that.
him lip sing. It would have been better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have. The only thing I never understand is how it could be so long. Like, you change the. I mean, if you like football, it feels like it changes the game a little because they
Yeah.
have such a long time in the
Time for that
locker room.
halftime.
It feels
too
weird.
much, Too
Yeah.
long.
Is
They've been doing this for a long time, though. I can't even. They said there was one in
but if
the
they're gonna do
80s,
it,
I don't
it's gonna be Usher.
I don't remember them. Do you, Jerry? Do you remember them in the 80s having these shows?
No.
For some reason I don't.
No.
But they claimed there was somebody in the Bears. In 85. I don't remember it. Not like this, at least.
Not like that. Not these big productions. You know, marching bands. They used to.
Yeah.
Think
They
about it.
had a marching band out there.
I don't know why this keeps doing this in a while.
But
Yeah,
it's-
I know.
the
Out of
halftime's
nowhere.
way too long.
Did you guys, so you didn't see any of it, but you guys saw what Travis Kelce did?
I didn't see that part.
You didn't see that part when he goes running. It was just out of place. He went running, screaming at the coach, bumps him, almost knocks him
But it's
over.
not the first time he's acted up.
Yeah, but then I saw what I thought was interesting was the look at Taylor Swift and her face when she saw him, the way he was acting on the stage
Yeah.
when he got Stanley Cup, when he got the Lombardi Trophy, and he was screaming like just a wild animal. He was unbelievable. He was making no. He was just yelling "Viva Las Vegas" and screaming.
I saw that part.
Yeah, and then they show her, and she looks she looks like, oh my, it was a look on her face like, oh
I was
god.
hoping they didn't win just because of her.
Yeah.
I know.
You know, I don't blame it. It's the media that does all that. I don't have anything against it.
I was glad that she didn't go on the stage because I'm thinking, oh my god, they're going to give her the Lombardi Trophy. I think that's what I kept telling her. I'm
Why
like,
they didn't have her do a halftime show this year.
that would have been,
Yeah, why did
That would have been cool.
Well, she was in Japan the night before.
yeah. So she's tired. Yeah, but anyways, I mean, there was a lot of people up there. Did you guys? You didn't see it. Did you know any of them that were sitting with her?
Yeah,
Did you?
Ice Spice and
And that's a Spice Girl from like the old
yeah,
time.
she's a new rapper that's out.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Bailey somebody.
yeah.
Thank you, Fred.
yes, thank
Sent
you.
50 stars.
Oh, nice.
Thank you for,
All right, stars. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
The stars, we all know 99 cents gives us 100 stars.
yeah.
100 of them go towards us getting, if we get enough of them, it'll go towards us getting like advertisement through not YouTube, through Facebook. And the dollar we receive, we try to put back into the show, or like whatever it costs for us to put this out. And Jen is here.
John.
Hey guys.
Gotcha.
I guess I kind of previewed a little bit what I was going to talk to start with was, remember last week with Dennis
Yeah.
Hannon? He was on, he did his own show, of course, but then he was on Laura Ingraham.
Yeah.
And so we put it out there, of course, because it's a big, it's like, okay,
Big deal.
yeah,
It
then
was a real
come
big deal.
come see him and talk to him on Thursday about it, or Riverdale it was. And so we did that, and amazed at some of the people that were very, like, just weren't happy at all that we were even involved in any of this, and that we were homophobes, we were every kind of phobe, we were all those things.
Yeah.
And let me just show you
We're
guys.
children phobe. We want to protect our children.
Let me show you some of the stuff.
I'm a non-realist. Whoa.
Oh my, yeah,
Ooh, very good.
yeah, good one. What the hell is that guy's name? Hold on. Let's see, is this the one? Oh, here we go. All right, starts out. I'm gonna I don't know if you can see it out there, but anyways, Brian Healy says, what does this have to do with, now I put it in groups. So it was in the city of Tonawanda groups, all these different groups we share, Robin shares to. So he asked, what does it have to do with the city of Tonawanda? Does the story have any bearing on events? Or is this one side of a story about how a man lost custody of his son in a private family matter that is all of a sudden gonna be turned political?
He obviously didn't watch the interview or
No.
listen.
That was my
That would have been answered.
right, because then I kind of answer him, and yeah, it does, because it's in Tonawanda.
Yeah.
It's right there, Kenmore, the whole school district. And so then he said it was bullshit, all bullshit. So okay, he was told he was bullshit, and then we go back. Then we have someone named Stephanie D. And she comes on and says, posting about other people's kids' genitals is weird shit. Get a life and some mental health.
Well,
Somebody's got to protect kids' genitals.
first of all, who talked about kids' genitals? Number
I
one,
don't
number
recall
two.
anything like that.
Right.
Isn't she the one who is weird for thinking of kids' genitals
Yes.
and even bringing it up?
Exactly.
Yep.
So
Yeah, no one was doing anything with that.
Nice
she
try.
needs help.
But I'll tell you, it gets ridiculous. Here's another guy whose name was Dan Conley. Father, he was trying to make his own headline to the story. Father neglected needs of child and lost access. More accurate headline. Trying to insinuate that, everyone likes to talk shit until they're in that position.
Very
True.
Even if something, it's not, and even if something like that was true, the point is the other parent is trying to transition that kid.
Right.
The gender, it's got nothing to do with that, whatever that guy's name is
Yeah.
who just said that. It's got nothing to do with it. It
It's
doesn't give
probably-
anyone, I don't care if the kid is totally with the mom. That doesn't give the mother the right to transition. How old was he at the time when she started?
Was it like 3 or 4?
Yeah.
It's criminal. Whoever you are, it's criminal. Quit supporting criminals.
Actually, I'm gonna bet you any money that they were all somehow friends or related to Dennis's ex.
That's very
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
now.
Should
What
be worried about the kid. Worry about that child.
Now I'm going to hate to have to do this because I have generally had no problem with this person that I'm about to talk about, from the Niagara Falls Uncensored
Mhm.
group. Never had a problem. Actually have had decent conversations, and today even had a conversation about something completely off topic, but I can't help it. Andrea, who runs that, was infuriated by the fact that we shared it to the group.
Good.
And she said that, okay,
I
now
probably shared this to the group too.
I said, yeah,
Her Facebook page is what? What is it called?
her name?
No, the
Oh, Niagara Falls Uncensored.
uncensored.
Yeah, right.
Uncensored.
We got censored.
Yeah, but you have to censor yourself for her.
Yeah.
Right.
So she was upset because she said in her own words, I wish I'd had screenshots at the LGBTQ community. She's part of that community and we slapped her in the face. She's allowed us to be on her platform and all this other stuff. So we don't ever have to be on that platform ever again. I don't care. We don't need their platform.
Yeah, but how are we slapping
Yeah.
transgenders in the face? I don't get it. By trying to protect a child. It's all this is about is the protection of a
I
child.
don't even care about that.
Because they don't have a defense for that, so
Right.
they've got to make it, oh, you're a homophobe. You even talk about it, you're a homophobe. So that's why
I'm gonna tell
people
her she's mentally ill.
that's why people don't do it. That's why it goes on, is because nobody says anything because they're labeled a homophobe.
Burkett says, yeah, I got booted years ago by her, him, they, or whatever the correct pronoun is. Yeah, we never got booted, but there have been words in the past. And, but then I that's why I was surprised by saying that we slapped her in the face. Because first of all, you or I had no idea. I'm not doing it. I mean, you and Vernon, don't. 'Cause we're not doing it. You and we had never knew that if she was homosexual or not. We had no idea what she is. I said that to her too when we were going back and forth. I don't know what you are. I had no clue.
I would like to, if I could
Yeah,
talk
right.
to her, I would simply ask her, why do you have to push your life style on a child? And that's my point. I go, we're talking about the protection of children.
And the
Children.
and
Not what your personal life is, and you want to go be a giraffe, go be a giraffe.
And she
So leave
just,
the kid alone.
and now I know she's just,
Yeah.
okay, she's not trans, she's just gay. Okay.
Fine, go.
So I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
You don't care what you are.
Right.
It's not even the talk, yeah.
If you're
You don't make that much
grimace.
difference to us.
Yeah.
They
Not
can't,
that special.
they can't grasp that though. I noticed like there was more than this. There was more like there was, we share them to so many groups. There was a lot of good stuff too.
Sounds like
Don't get me
a
wrong.
person like that wants to express their opinion, but you can't have yours.
Exactly. That's why I
That's
think it's
right.
funny that her page is called Iron Falls Uncensored.
That's the thing I couldn't understand. Right. And
Michael Jones.
and there's 9,000 people that go there. It's similar to the problem that we have. Wow, first day on the job. Let me hold on a minute. Look at this.
Got it.
Look what I made too. Look at that.
I love that.
Production manager Robin.
Yeah, well, production.
Yeah, production down the tube.
Was listening to
Due to
music
circumstances
earlier and
beyond
forgot to.
Hey Andrea, why was it so bad? This is perfect. Why was it so bad why was it so bad? The thing that we put out there on, I guess it was not the podcast. It was more the thing with Laura Ingraham and Dennis.
Just because you don't like Fox News and
If she's a real liberal, she won't like Fox News.
Yes. Now, is that because I don't get it because it had nothing to do. I don't think it did. Explain to us what it is.
It's Niagara Falls Uncensored, and that's the page, and there shouldn't be any censorship, and people should be able to be free to talk about whatever they want, however they feel.
Yeah, and I just want to know what it is. What did we do wrong? Oh, she's not. Maybe she didn't hear me. She's saying, "Hey there." Hi. No, we aren't allowed to have our opinion, but liberal Democrats are allowed. Cindy says, and I don't even have for me. Oh, so first, let me tell you about the name Uncensor. Okay. I'll read it as you do it because we got to have other people to see it. I don't even consider myself either or. I don't have, and I mean like whatever, Democrat, Republican, whatever you might be. I don't have that. I don't think of myself. I don't think of myself as liberal or conservative. I don't think of myself as anything. Robin, you could attest to that, right?
Yeah.
I'm nothing, but I'm just not. I don't. That's why when I see Fox News or I see CNN, I see MSNBC, I see nothing but all the same.
See,
To me,
but I don't.
you don't. Yeah.
The reason I don't is exactly what they did with Dennis.
Right.
You don't see Dennis on MSNBC. You don't see him on CNN, but you saw Dennis on Fox. Not that I
Well,
think
Ken
Fox is
Hamilton's a piece of shit, so.
perfect. Right.
Oh, so here we go. Okay, I named it Uncensored because I was kicked out of Ken Hamilton's group for saying the word shitty. Oh wow.
Ken Hamilton's a shitty person.
So I called my group Uncensored. Wayne, you could swear. Okay, all right, I get it. But what was it about our show or that show that we shared that was bad? I guess is the question. I mean, we shared the show from Laura Ingraham with Dennis because our own podcast went out there with Dennis, and that didn't seem to have any problems.
So
But all these weirdos came from out of state and started using. Oh, okay, she's talking about the other thing. Okay,
The other thing it's anti-manipulation of children.
right. Yeah, I just am curious as to
You
what.
just don't take a little child at the age of 4 or 5, whatever, and try to change them into the opposite sex.
no,
Leave them alone until they're old enough to make that decision on their own.
It's all
When
it
they're
is.
old enough, just like you have to be 21 to buy alcohol, to
Right.
buy cigarettes and stuff like that,
Right.
you should not be allowed to change their gender and give them medicine and stuff like that.
No.
No.
It was local. It has to do with some live in North Tonawanda. Part of this lives in North Tonawanda. Part of it lives in Tonawanda. It's the Kenton district.
so it is.
It is a local thing. I mean, it's not in Niagara Falls, but partially Niagara County and partially Erie, but it's all here. It is low. If it wasn't, that would have never came up because I don't, this show, basically, it's all we do is local stuff. Katie, children are not capable of making life altering decisions with their bodies. It's why you don't see children in tattoo parlors getting inked up. Oh, okay. I thought it was a national story. Sorry. Okay. That I understand. But it wasn't a national story. It is for here. That was my whole point of doing it.
Yeah.
Our whole point is that it was
It's
local.
right here
It
in our
was it
backyard.
shocked us when we
Yeah.
met Dennis. Remember?
Yeah.
When we met him, we were thinking, okay, it's got to be somewhere else. There's no way it's happening here. And when he told us it was the Kenton district, it was like, oh my, it's right here on us.
Mhm.
So if that was I get it, okay, because it was Laura Ingraham. I know it was a national show, but Dennis is doing this right here in Tonawanda.
Yeah.
in North Tonawanda and Kenmore.
And he's looked into, he's done research on the Niagara Falls schools. He includes that. in-
Yeah,
in what he
definitely.
does. If you go to indoctrinate.org.
Right. I also need to tell you there are a lot of replies that were like really, really disgusting against trans people. Okay, I apologize. I don't want any part of that. And I think we've never really. I know I haven't, and I know you
No,
haven't.
nobody's ever talked bad about.
I know us haven't said a word. It all turned into like the transitioning with little kids. It wasn't about. I think it's been said a million times. I don't care if you're 18, 21, do what you want to do. I think everyone here has said that pretty much.
100%.
But that's something I should have dealt with on a one-on-one basis and not taken down your post. I honestly thought it was national. Okay, Andrea, thank you. Fine, that works nice. I just didn't think there'd be a problem.
Yeah.
I thought it was national. It wasn't. I know as far as comments, I don't know what to say about those stupid ass comments.
Yeah.
Because
But we need to protect, bottom line is we need to protect children.
Yeah.
That's adults can do what they want.
Yeah.
Free will, you have free will, but children can't process that stuff at that age. They're way too young.
all right, Andrea, I appreciate that this misunderstanding was taken because I had said it earlier that I thought we've had some really good conversations. Me and you, just not on the phone or nothing, but just on Messenger and stuff. So because I couldn't understand it, but once he said, "Great, we're all friends again." Yeah. We're done. Yes, we're all friends again.
Yeah, but then, at least you were able to debate it.
Yeah.
And clear the air. That's
Right.
how it should be.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because it wasn't an anti-LGBTQ thing, and by any
not at all.
means.
No.
And I know everyone at this table knows somebody or does something, whatever, family members, all kinds of things. It's a whole different story now. It's a different world than I grew up in because every family, almost every family has a person who is LGBTQ or whatever, and and everyone's good. I don't think there's a problem anymore.
no.
You guys, like,
I grew up with
No.
kids.
I don't, yeah. And we've had.
No.
Can I give you all my input on that topic of trans kids though? Sure you can. I'd love to. If it's the opposite, that's fine too. We've been wanting it. Do
Yeah.
you feel like a boy? Okay, here we go. Andrew's got questions. Did you feel like a boy when you were 10 years old?
No, but neither did this boy that was transitioned. He didn't feel like he was a girl.
Well,
The
he-
mother was forcing it on him.
And he was only 4.
So if
3.
you're not feeling this is about parents transitioning their kids because they want to transition their kids, not because their kids want to transition. It's because the parents feel like, oh, I have a boy, but I really want a girl, so I'm going to change it into a girl.
Well, that's what it appeared to me. As
Yeah.
though when the divorce happened and she was left with a little boy, she figured, I want a girl.
Right.
And so let's do this. And he was too little to say no at
Right.
the time. So she just kept it going.
But I think the point is here that even at what she's saying, a boy of 10 years old or a girl of 10 years old is too young.
Way too.
It's
Right.
too young.
So is 4.
Yeah, I know that. So yeah, you think
You were born with what you were born with.
right.
When you're an adult, you can decide what you want to do with it. When you're a
When
kid,
you're legally an adult,
I mean,
somebody
But
should-
10
right here.
years old, did you
Somebody
feel like
should
having a
protect
cigarette,
that.
drinking alcohol? I don't
Right.
know, but
It's-
you're
no,
not
you're right.
allowed. I mean, it's just not normal. It's just not. You can't make decisions for yourself at that age.
If the kid is tormented, let's say he's tormented at 10 years old, then you get him counseling, you help him any way they can, and you try to keep him.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got more. Okay, so it is a story I didn't know. So the kid wasn't even saying he felt a certain gender. Okay, then I didn't even know that. But here's the story. Okay, yeah, that was the thing. He was only 3,
yeah.
so he didn't have a chance.
Jesus.
I mean, now when you get into, let me say this:
So quit teething.
when you're 6,
Yeah.
when you're 16 years old and you're and I don't know, you're headed that way. I mean, 18 is where it's got to begin, I would assume.
Yeah.
Now at 16, I would think, well, 17 here is consent in New York
Yeah.
State, which is
Which is
unbelievable.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think that consent, like we talked about many times on Dennis's show, that's in here. Consent scares me with that. If a
Well, no,
4-year-old
when
can
I
consent,
worked in the jails, 16 and 17-year-olds still couldn't consent. I had
okay.
to have a signed consent by a parent to touch one of those kids
Oh, wow.
to do a physical exam on them. So at 17 in the jail,
in the
they
jail.
still can't consent.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
But at 17 outside, you can have sex with anyone, and if you consent, you consent. That's my concern about saying the 9-year-old consented to one of the biggest, I would assume, like, decisions you could make.
I would still like to know what were the circumstances around the kid, let's say 3 or 4 years old, that this subject would even arise or come up. Why the little boy was playing with a doll.
Exactly.
So like, what is it that these parents
Oh,
would
going
think-
somewhere else.
What
yeah.
brought them to the point where I don't care if he dressed like a girl as a 4-year-old and had a Barbie doll.
I
That
would
doesn't mean jack shit to a kid that age.
Yeah,
And I
I'd
had
have
one of
been.
his nails painted when he was like 5. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean I
knock it
change it.
Oh,
I didn't let him paint his nails, but I'm not changing his
That's what I'm
gender.
saying. They-
Right, I would have been fucked because all I liked was sports, and I've always worn a baseball hat
Kids
and
don't
dressed
know any
like
better.
a.
They're not thinking like we do.
All right, let's see what Andrea's got. You can be born with genitals of one gender and yet chromosomes or brain functions of another gender. If you are born that way and the genital is fixed to match the brain before adolescence is complete, then the person will have a better quality of
What
life.
is it? XXXY?
Okay. I get, all right, I'm gonna try to be, this is a nice debate here with stuff, so I'm gonna get everybody. I get what's trying to be said there,
Yeah.
but
I think you just told me to shut up.
No. There's no. I'm not telling no one to shut up. I'm just saying. If I'm inviting people to come and tell me their opposite thing, I kind of want to have some kind of back and forth. And what I'm saying is, I get what you're saying, I guess, about that, but that seems too young
Too
to
young.
me
I just
to be.
looked up
Go ahead.
On Google.
Yeah.
At what age is your brain fully developed? So, they said the brain finishes developing and maturing in the mid to late 20s. The part of the brain behind the forehead, called the prefrontal cortex, is one of the last parts to mature. This area is responsible for skills like planning, prioritizing, and making good decisions.
Yeah.
So, even into your mid to
age
late
is that?
20s is when the brain is.
Dominic's got a 25.
So does Frederick.
Yeah.
Frederick does
Yeah.
too. Val says U.S. government consent is 18. My son insisted on joining the army a few months before he turned 18. I had to sign over my parental rights for him to go. Yeah, and New York State's 17 for some unknown reason.
I have a problem.
But thank you for his service. Holy cow, going to the army at 17. Wow.
What is it? XX for what's the chromosomes for it? XX and XY?
Yeah.
If you're born with an X, let's just say for now that XX is boy. That's it. Your brain, your skin, everything you has that chromosome. You don't have XX in part of your body, then XY up in your brain. I've never heard of that. No disrespect intended. This is me debating the issue. But you can have feelings. Feelings are one way, but science is another. Your chromosomes are sealed. Now you can act like a woman if you're a boy, and that's fine when you're older, but it's really, really just that factual. You're either a boy or you are a girl. Chromosomally, now I'm talking about.
Right.
That's it. That's it. Not one half of your body is, one half of your body is that. I've never heard that. So I'm just saying. I'd like to see some research on it.
Because I would figure we've all known people that were, I'm just going with boys, that were feminine, like whatever.
Mm.
And I guess when you turn 18, if you decide you want to change, you change.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Sure.
that would be what you do. It's just hard. Back to Dennis's story. Remember, the kid was 3 or 4 and they were hiding it from him,
Right.
from the father as well. So that was the whole story there is
You don't go behind the other parent's back and
Right.
change your child, their child. Like, you just don't do that. You don't say, you take it from the other parent, you keep it from the other parent and start transitioning your 3 or 4-year-old child.
It's criminal.
That's criminal. It's wrong. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Now, as far as, do we agree or no? And it's fine if someone doesn't hear. 18 or older, should it be okay?
Yeah,
You guys think
Yeah.
that?
sure. Well, maybe not 18, but I
Okay.
guess we'll go with 18.
All right, 21.
But
I'd say 21.
yeah.
Yeah, I would try to
If that's
hold
the
at
age
least
that
20.
you're allowed to start drinking at and doing all that shit,
Mhm.
I'd say 21.
Because there's a lot of trans people who regret transitioning and doing all the surgeries and stuff that they have done. And once they finally matured and reached the age, they end up regretting everything that's
And,
happened.
and if I may, the suicide rate is astronomically higher amongst those kids that you're talking about, Noel, that went through the operations and stuff. They're the ones that are committing suicide at a much, much higher rate than somebody who did not. It's a fact.
Andrea says, my degree is in biology, so I have studied DNA and chromosomes. Some people are born in between genders, intersex. Some have both genitals. We've heard of them before.
Yeah.
You can't even get a tattoo. Stacy says, I identify as a billionaire. Where's my money? Frederick says, yeah.
Well, the bottom line is still though, you should be of a certain age
I think
before
that's
they
what
make a decision like that.
that's the true. I think what we're talking
Yeah,
about is
yeah.
what the age is.
Right.
And how, yeah, what is scary is like there's in California that whole thing where if it happened where the kid was 9 or 10 and they were giving them all those things that, what do they call it? Like those different puberty
Puberty
things.
blockers.
Well, then the parents didn't want that to happen, but the school said, too bad, it's happening. And if you don't like it, well, we're going to call CPS. So that's a problem too.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
the school is just taking control of the
Total
child.
insanity.
Yeah.
The school's there to teach math, science,
Should be.
reading, not anything like that. I have no idea only California would do something like that.
Well, watch out for New York.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Look,
Excuse me, you're right.
look out because we're
Right.
we're headed there. So yeah, I mean that's what this. I think the whole story gets confused because I know there's a lot of a lot of stuff about it and people are emotional, but our story mostly and that story of Dennis is about the child being no matter what, it was being hidden from the father.
Yeah.
From one of the parents it was hidden. So he just happens to stumble across his son with a different name, being dressed up differently, and going through things at school. So that was the whole story on Laura Ingraham.
Yeah.
I believe that was the whole thing. So
The only thing at the end of Laura Ingraham, I mean, I wish he would continue that story on.
yeah,
Keep us up.
they transitioned,
Dennis, I hope keep us
Yeah.
up on that because usually they'll do that.
and we're gonna have to do it on Thursday. What night are we going? Wednesdays now? I think we are.
Yeah, when
Every other Wednesday, I think, for
Right.
Dennis. I think it's a certain age for sure. I never met a 5-year-old ever that understands the thought process about sex changes or even understood it's just like they don't understand any of that. That's at all.
Right.
Can I ask? I maybe this is a stupid question, but when I was a kid, when we were all kids, there wasn't all of this. So is it that somebody's putting it in the kids' heads, or just nobody? There was millions of transgenders before
I
the
think-
percentage.
I think the things we all have in our hand right now, cell phones and all the Facebook and all the other sites that's available to kids that are 4 and 5, like our own grandkids sitting there and look what they're absorbing.
Mhm.
We never, when I was at grade school, the only thing I knew was, you go home and watch the Three Stooges on a Saturday morning. You did your schoolwork, you went out and played, you come home. These kids are 24/7 on social media. That's, I'm sorry, my opinion, absolute poison.
But
The
that isn't
absolute
going to
poison.
make a 3-year-old want to turn.
No, not the 3. No, but the parents. The parents are jumping in.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I have social media. You don't see me transitioning my kid.
Why are you?
it's probably not as big as a epidemic, right? I'm sure if you look, I wonder what the percentage of it is
Yeah.
of this
I
happening.
just think,
But
really the poisoning of our children.
Well, look what
For
they're doing
years.
in school, though. Even in school, they're pushing it.
That's what I
The books
mean.
and
Like,
everything that they have available now and stuff like that.
Until people find
like
out.
our kids have enough
Queer-
choices that they have to make.
Queer books.
Why are they
Yeah.
being pushed into thinking they have to make this decision?
They're even letting them be animals. I mean, like, it's
Well,
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Being a teacher, here's what was pushed. It wasn't said like we're saying now because we're a little more educated on it now, but it was the key word was tolerance. You were to be tolerant, and now tolerance, here's what it's gotten us. It's not that you're not, we're all tolerant. There's nobody in this room that's not tolerant and give somebody a chance, but we got to the point now where you need to be intolerant of exactly what we're talking about. That's what we're doing.
Tolerance is called being politically correct. If you aren't politically correct, you're gonna get.
For years though, not just now.
Right, you're gonna get your ass chewed out by everybody.
And you get your ass chewed out and start fighting because that's what we
Yeah.
need to do. That's what
Right.
we're doing. This is what this is all about. We're fighting.
All right, so we got some other opinions here. Kimberly says, my child was the first transgender child to go through Niagara Falls school system. There's way more to it than the kid just wanting to
Yeah,
be
but did
the
you
opposite
push
gender.
your child, Kimberly, did you push your child to become the opposite sex? Like, did you force your child to do that and go behind the other parent's back and
Yeah,
just
that's the
transition the
story.
kid? Like, cause that's not the case. That's what's happening over here.
And the,
This is just a case of a mother,
she says,
like,
absolutely not.
yeah,
Right,
this is
you
just a
did-
case of a mother wanting to have the opposite sex. So she's forcing her 3 or 4-year-old to change into
A girl.
a girl.
Without the
And
consent
without
of
the
the father.
consent of the father.
I don't even
and-
know.
And
Right.
the kid, for what it's worth, the kid now says, I'm a boy, I don't want to be a girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So she's saying what she did
did
as
as
well.
well.
Yeah.
That's where we are. See, you're right on the same page, Kim.
I
yeah.
think we
Right
all
on
are.
the
I
same
bet you we
page.
all are. I can't imagine there's anyone out there that is for what we're what we're talking about.
Right.
Of the child being, all right, what do we got here? Dominic. I totally agree with Robin and Jerry. What's that? All fast information, and a lot of it is being shoved down their throats. Look at the books they are getting to read in elementary kids. I remember being at GJ Mann, and I basically had to get approval to read the Boxcar Kids.
Mhm.
Now compare that to the books that kids are reading today. Boxcar Kids was like the Holy Bible.
Right. Good point,
Yeah.
Dominic.
No, I think I'd love to find the person that thinks that the 3 or 4 or 5 or 10-year-old should be doing this. Like puberty blockers are tough thing. If the kid, first of all, I don't care about any of it. If it's the parent's decision, I guess it's the parent's decision. That's what I want, is the parents have to be the ones making the decision, first of all.
And when the child is the right age.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when it has to happen. But not the school shouldn't block them or anything like that. Or one parent or the other, because now you're in a tug of war.
Yeah.
And it's I'm trying to put a heart to your comment. Oh, so I think it's
Schools
happy.
need to get back to doing what their job is, and that's to teach reading, math, science, literature, language arts, and that stuff. This shouldn't even be, in my opinion, shouldn't even be in our schools. Now, if kids having a problem, there's counseling. There's you can get professionals in there to help the kid. I've been through things that, not this particular
It's-
thing.
Feels like we're more, Cindy says, I'm glad my parents didn't push me into it because I grew up as a tomboy in the 70s.
Yeah, same.
There you go.
I mean,
Tomboys.
As ridiculous as my parents were, I was born in 78. If this had been a thing,
Who knows what your
what the hell?
Yeah, who knows
They-
what you'd have done, but there's a whole nother, yeah.
yeah, that's a whole
We
nother
can't go down
episode.
that. Yeah, sadly. But I mean,
Good point, though. It's good.
there's something I was going to say, but I think though we're a more tolerant I'm going to say tolerant too. I wonder if kids these days pick on each other as much as they used to for this stuff.
Right.
Like, I remember I was born in 71. So I remember, my years going from 71 to 81. I'm 10 years old. I graduate in 89. So a good portion of my time, and people were picked on for being feminine. If you were a boy and you were feminine,
Same
you were
when
picked
I
on.
went to school. Same when I.
Girls that weren't feminine didn't get picked on though. I never seen that. But the boys that were feminine would be
Because they
picked
were
on.
tough.
Right.
Because they were tough.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if that happened. I don't know. Do you know? You ever hear about that?
I don't hear about it.
Because like even
It's
you,
good. It's a good point.
even your kids, like they're 8, right?
Yeah.
And so they're got to be hearing stuff.
Yeah.
And doesn't it seem that way? Because you know what? When I was a kid, being called, I won't say the word because it offends,
Oh, go ahead.
the F word for gay people.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing you could be called as a
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah,
All hell
right,
breaks loose. Then.
Exactly.
And now I don't think it doesn't feel that way anymore.
They didn't even use the word gay back then. You
No.
weren't gay. You were.
Yeah. Yeah. You were the F word, right?
The what?
The F word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why not say it?
Oh, faggot. Yeah. That was the word.
You
Yeah.
faggot.
That was bad.
You would be called that if you didn't play football and you were playing tennis.
Right.
You could
Right.
tell Ben
I
was
know.
back then. You freaking
Well,
fag.
I used to like cooking, and I would not tell anyone because I wanted to do that at Niagara Community College when I went there. And remember, I told you, and I couldn't do it because I knew what would be said. You know, so I
And
didn't
it
do
just
it.
swung.
Yeah.
Although it was severe one way,
Mhm.
and now it has swung severe the other way.
Yes, I watched videos of doctors and other trans that said that puberty blockers are dangerous. They are fighting against, and even they are censored. No one should force anyone to be someone they're not. Gay should be allowed to be gay. Straight should not be forced to be trans, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is pretty much I think what we all think.
But I think, especially, man, let me shoot something there. This might not be popular. This might not be a popular thing, but I'll tell you if I put me back in sixth grade, right? I'm teaching, and now I got a sixth grade student who's probably between the age of 11 and 12, right? They come walking in, have the first quarter of school. He was a guy, a boy. Now he comes in as a girl. What do you think that would do in the classroom? How distracted do you think the other kids would be? How disruptive?
I wonder.
It
That's a
would be
good point.
extremely.
Today, what would it do today? Do you think the kids?
Well,
I wonder today what it would be. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking, like today, what would that?
Yeah.
But you
I
know,
wonder.
Dennis's kid went through that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
That's what he was saying, that my kid, you know, that's gonna have a lasting effect, because
Oh,
at one point he came in as Ruby,
right.
and then at another point he came back
It
as
was-
the boy.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's gonna get cracked on the rest of his life now.
yeah, that'll follow him.
What I'm saying is, and I agree, but like the way the world is not, like, it just feels different than it was when I was a kid. Like I don't know if are these kids like that anymore. No, I mean, like, as far as, do they even care? Like, did they even care if the boy's feminine anymore? Does that even like cause
I'm sure
what it used to
does. I'm
cause?
sure it does.
You think so? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just wondering.
It's
Yeah,
just not as outwards when you went to school. I went to school. It was more common. Calling somebody a fag back then was nothing.
right.
Now you do that.
No, they said it on they'd say it on CBS, ABC. Remember in those shows, like
Yeah.
Archie
Archie
Bunker.
Bunker.
He said it left and right.
France is a fan country.
About the love of the Beatles, he says in sixth grade. LOL.
Mr. D.
Yes, I transed you into the Beatles.
Kimberly says it wasn't disruptive for my kid. They all knew the teacher made it more of a
Big deal.
big
I
deal.
think kids are more accepting nowadays.
Well,
they're
I think
just
that was
more-
my point. I think the kids these days don't that doesn't bother them like it used to us.
That was my
Right.
point, though.
Yeah.
They're shoving the word in tolerant. You need to be tolerant of everything. Too much. In my opinion, it got way out of hand. Now it's out of hand, in my opinion.
Stacy says these trans conversations are not done medically safe, even for adults, much of the time, let alone for kids. I've seen much medical fraud. People coming to ER because side effects and hormones recklessly prescribed without any real medical treatment, evaluation, follow-up. Today, kids are more accepting of gender fluidity. They are more aware of the lack of binary gender. In some schools, it turns out LGBTQ students get popular. Times have changed. Oh, I agree. The times have changed. There's no doubt
Have
times
they
have changed.
changed for the better, though?
Well, that's another question.
Yeah.
My child is almost 20, so this was a long time ago. Yeah, so I guess I'm not really making. I just got a feeling, Noelle, your kids are probably a heck of a lot, not just yours, all of them are probably a lot more tolerant.
Yeah.
Let's use that
Well,
word.
I
others.
explain this stuff to them. I tell them they got to be accepting to everybody, and
Right.
you know, I explain to
have
them
to.
what gay is. I like if a boy looks. I tell them that all that stuff, as long as the person's a good person and they're not a bad person, you know.
That you don't pick on anybody.
Yeah, you don't
for
pick
that,
on
right.
anybody for
Right.
it. You don't say anything mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just, and that's funny because when we were kids and you were a kid, that was probably never said.
Right.
Like you were never told that. I was never told that. Robin, obviously you weren't. So it's what's this? That's what John's saying here. Podcast covered the Dennis Hannon story, and they brought up the statistics / increasing number of people with gender dysphoria state by state from 2018 to 2022. The numbers are jaw dropping. Virginia is up 274%. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole new world.
It's
It is.
it's for me, it's just they're leading them down this path in a lot of instances.
Yep.
274%. You know what a transition does to a kid? how hard, even if they want to do that, how hard their life is going to be. And for it's making it sound like they're jumping through hoops just to be transgender.
Right.
No,
No, I mean,
I just think it's,
I just know that I remember kids getting picked on
Right.
relentlessly when I was a kid. I mean, bad, chased home, glasses broke. It's sad shit. You know, terrible stuff when I think about it. Like the stuff that would happen.
Yeah.
Like doing all kinds of things to them. I gotta feel like that doesn't. I shouldn't say it doesn't happen to, but I bet you it doesn't as much. Like, and maybe that's probably a good thing that we don't have that.
Yeah.
On the bright side, I mean, we're not chasing down kids and beating them and breaking their glasses and busting books over their head because they might be feminine males or something.
No,
Or they play tennis, like you said.
nobody ever get, and then, when I said what I said, nobody ever got beat up. They were just name calling. It was name calling back then. There was nobody getting beat or anything. Now,
Yeah.
Now's more violent.
Yeah.
There's more violence now in schools than there was when I grew up,
For me,
especially against teachers and stuff.
I saw kids like one kid who was whatever he was, let's say, liked to cook or played tennis, like you're saying, they got it relentlessly. It was relentless name calling. It was a relentless chasing them after school to their house
Catholic?
at Mount Carmel.
Oh, Mount Carmel.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Not a Niagara Catholic. By that time, a Niagara
You were
Catholic.
with the priests.
Well, they were.
Don't ask.
They were in the rectory.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah.
Katie says, how many of these diagnoses are lining up the pockets of rogue professionals in the medical and legal fields? Good
That-
question.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think the kids that don't fit in the other groups, like the jocks, nerds, etc., are finding they can fit in with the LGBTQ and be cool, even if they're not. I think more kids are saying they're LGBTQ just to have a sense of belonging and to fit in. Well, that's good.
I
believe that too.
that's
I believe that since everybody's saying this is so accepted now, the kids that don't have much going on for them sometime, maybe
Mm.
they want to join something. It's,
Andrea asks, can you all please distinguish the difference between gender and sexual orientation? Gender is not about who you are attracted to. It isn't sexual orientation. That's correct. I think we all agree, right?
yeah,
we all agree on
with
that. Yeah, we all agree. You can't, we're not telling you who you can and can't be with or date or marry or whatever it is. Right? None of us do, right?
No.
You do a little?
my wife, maybe.
Well, that's all right. I mean, that's what happens. I mean,
Transgender nurse.
it was hard to, oh, Jesus. It's hard to, I mean, the generation we come from, and you guys might be a generation even before me, I think.
Yep.
It's different. I mean, I think of my father when gay marriage happened. It was difficult for him to understand. He did understand. He ended up understanding because someone in our family ends up being gay. So he did understand that. But I think there's tolerance on both sides. I think there's got to be tolerance for both ways. Also for the people that are from a different era. Do you know what I mean? Like, and not automatically think that they're just
Or just from a different way of thinking.
different way of thinking. Even that, even different politics, all of it. Just, I think that's what we do. We certainly don't have that in anything anymore. And maybe it is worse. I was just trying to say maybe kids don't get beat. It's probably worse
Just
as
That's right,
adults.
Katie. Katie says, let's not forget Dennis's son never even had a diagnosis of gender
Right.
dysphoria because he was too young to even have the diagnosis.
Is it a true diagnosis? You will need to follow a reputable doctor that is specialist in gender dysphoria, Kimberly says. Andrea, she was beat by students, by her parents, and even the principal, and was allowed to spank her with a paddle if she expressed too masculine of traits or perceived flirting with a girl. I mean, that's wrong.
No.
We don't, none of us, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Those people should
What
go,
was that?
yeah, how long ago was that, Andrea? Those people should go to jail, whoever
Mhm.
did that. That's
For
bullshit.
sure.
You shouldn't touch a kid. You shouldn't,
Yeah.
there's too much
Plain and
touching
simple,
of
you shouldn't
kids.
touch a kid. You shouldn't
Right.
touch a kid. You shouldn't touch a kid.
When I was younger and we were all young, there was too much touching of kids in my
Yeah.
mind. So that's
But
interesting.
warping a child out with this stuff at a young age is just as bad as a beating, if you ask me, if not worse. If not worse, that's my opinion.
Yeah, forcing them to change their gender is tough. I mean, that's
Yeah.
1970s. That makes sense. I bet you. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Yeah, I could see it. Definitely in the 70s. We're not having that
Brainwashing.
anymore.
It's a lot of brainwashing going on. It's when you start talking about kids that young, that's brainwashing.
Yeah, it's wild that when Dennis's story, I mean, that maybe that is a very extreme situation, but it happened. And I did hear about the one in California. I wish that every news outlet would report on this stuff too,
Right.
because then I think you get somewhere. Because if it's only MSNBC reporting, then that means it's whatever it is, and I can't like it. If Fox News is reporting it and I'm the liberal side, I can't like it. I don't want to hear anything they got to say. I think that's a problem
But you're
too.
going to hear more of it. What we're talking right here is
Yeah.
you're going to hear it more on a conservative site. They're going to be more,
Yeah,
boom, no, you don't do that.
and I wonder
Where
why.
the liberal sides, well, they get wishy-washy.
I wonder why, because none of us, I would love to find out the percent. We'll never know if you could poll people. There can't be a big percentage of people that are for children making their own decision on their you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who would come out here and say, well, the 3-year-old can do what they want? No one. I bet you it's gotta be 0%.
No, because of that 3-year-old should be able to tell you what time it wants to go to bed. We should tell you what it is and isn't going to eat, whether or not you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
And should be able to get a loan
yeah.
at the thing
And the tattoo.
and have sex with adults. And that's the scary part, is it's what scares me about consent, all this consenting at a young age,
Yeah.
because I know where we're headed, sadly.
But to me, when you get a 10-year-old child and you start to even bring up transitioning of your sex, that is sexualization of a child. I say it's the path. You're putting them on a path where why are they even thinking about that? Is their life that bad? I mean, obviously I must not know.
Yeah,
What the kid's going through.
well, like pageant kids are as bad too.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
about the girl,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you think of that, or the whatever. That's
John Bonet, right?
that's horrible, and that's still going on. It hasn't stopped. You know,
We have a sick society, kids,
yeah.
and it needs to be straightened out. That's for sure.
All right.
And didn't like when Dennis decided at a certain point that going to the psychologist or the psychiatrist with the son wasn't doing anything, and he said, all right, I want to stop. That's when they took all his parental rights away.
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't like what was going on.
Yeah, they kind of, yes, that's the other part. That's that's the end of the
I can
story,
see that.
basically. Yeah.
They took everything
Well,
away
he
from
was
him.
a
And said, all right, now you get nothing. If you don't want to keep taking them until maybe the kid changes his mind,
Right.
then you're not going to have anything to do with your own kid anymore.
And it's similar to what California did, except it was both parents. It's similar. I didn't even
Mhm.
realize it was, that's a similar thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. They are trying to weaken men because in 10, 20 years, we won't have an army. That's a good thought, maybe, possibly. I just,
Well, there is a lot of talk about what did I say? I got the right word. The demasculization of men
Mhm.
through
oh yeah, I've heard it.
advertisement, through music, through every venue there is, and showing men that always have to be soft and not be men. And
It's so straight. Yeah.
that's worth a show.
What a
Mhm.
The demasculization of males.
Yep.
yeah.
I see it. They don't want football no more. It's
Right.
just creeping into everything. You can't tackle football. You can't.
See, now here, this is great. My child did not go on a blocker until 18 because, of course, why would you?
Be on a puberty blocker.
Right.
Because that's the thing that they use. I don't know. Remember what Dennis was talking about? The thing for chemical castration?
Right.
That's crazy too. I mean, and they won't use it on pedophiles, but they'll use it on the kid.
Yeah,
That's-
there you
you know,
go. So,
yeah.
how about that? Huh?
That's why it's just wacky. All right. That was a nice thing. We went, 45 minutes on that.
Yeah.
What else do we got, guys? Do
That
we have
wound
anything else?
everybody up, didn't it?
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
talk about Presti's karate real quick.
Go ahead. It's your.
Um,
It is for you.
Because fuck them. I had somebody message me and send me a screenshot of Presti's karate, and they're showing the D'Angelos, proudly showing off the D'Angelos and stuff like that. And if you disagree, if you don't support Nick D'Angelo, let me remind you who Nick D'Angelo is. He's a level 3 violent sex offender, serial rapist, repeat offender, who only had to do 4 months in jail, raped tons of people, including children. Where was I going with this? If you don't agree with, if you don't like the D'Angelos, or you don't want your kids around the D'Angelos and stuff, Presti's karate will just
Wipe you out,
wipe
right?
you out. Yeah, take you off
Take
of
your-
everything, kick you
wipe your
out,
stomach.
whatever. They are so supportive of the D'Angelos. It's disgusting. I gave John Presti a chance today to come forward and talk about it, and he blocked me. He blocked me and a couple other people.
And what did the girl say? She was some kind of
She's a
champion?
Yeah, she's some kind of champion, but because, you know, it's D'Angelo.
She didn't want him or them or the family or something. She made some kind
Yeah,
of
the
comment.
family didn't support Nick D'Angelo and what Nick D'Angelo did, and
So they took her
they took
champion
her
away
champion
from her.
away.
And her brothers too, who
Yeah.
was the first champion or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So there you go.
That's Presti's karate. So if you are thinking of putting your kid in karate, don't go there. I'm telling you right now, because Nick D'Angelo still goes around there too, from what I was told. He still brings his steps on there and drops his steps.
Boy, I
He's
wonder-
in a lot around kids.
That's what I'm wondering. What are they
Wow.
watching? What are they doing? Nothing, as we predicted, of course. It was an easy prediction that probation would do nothing.
Yeah.
There's no chance that they'll ever.
And guys, this is like a dangerous rapist running free that we're talking about for anybody that's new to the show. It's not like this isn't just,
This is somebody too that transgenders need to be worried about, because Nick is into boys and girls.
Yeah, he's
And
just a-
all of
he's just
that,
a
like,
rapist, yeah.
He will rape anybody, anything. He's sick in the head, so nobody's safe with Nick D'Angelo.
And you know what else I feel like his punishment, I think, makes him even more like think he can get away with it. Doesn't it feel that way?
Yeah.
Because they threw out cases. There was felony cases. They just said, no, don't worry about it. We're going to let you go. And so, yeah, be afraid,
Yeah.
because he's a freaking, he's a threat to people that can't threaten him back.
Presti's karate 100% supports Nick D'Angelo and the D'Angelos.
yeah, I would recommend kid, adult, anyone getting out of there before you're exposed to him.
Yeah.
Presty better keep a good eye on his monkeys. I
Presto.
think the monkeys might break him.
Oh, they
down.
beat the hell out of
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Well, because he would never.
Or
It's
they'll
got to be
adopt him as
people.
one of their own because he loves them.
You know, because he's got to be able to. Yeah, fuck that guy. And I just can't believe that we hasn't been violent. I'd like to ask. Oh, I'd hate to do this though, but like the women that made the deal.
Yeah.
Do they think? What do they think at this point? Do they think he's gonna get violent? Like, remember the deal? And
Yeah.
don't worry, he's
They're-
gonna
I know one.
violate him.
I know one specifically isn't happy right now. She's not happy with the way things turned out and how everything is.
I don't know.
She
How,
had no hope of him getting in trouble again.
One of the
No.
ones that went along with the
Yeah.
D felony.
Yeah.
because I'm guessing by now he's done some stuff.
Okay.
I mean, even if it's just internet acts, but we don't even know what his terms are, because maybe we don't even know if he's allowed. Because remember the question was asked, but the judge never said nothing about the
Right, they
action.
never said him.
Maybe he's allowed to be on that. Who even knows?
Which would be ridiculous, because when
Yeah.
you're on sex offender probation, you're not supposed to have internet.
I know.
So
This whole thing was a mess. I don't even believe he's on that.
yeah,
Part of me wonders if that's even true.
yeah.
Right.
It was just said. I don't know, but they did for such a huge case. They could not wait to get it
Oh yeah.
done with.
Yeah.
They couldn't wait.
They-
Go
they
ahead. No.
Went 3 years avoiding it.
Yeah.
And then they just made a quick decision like that.
And no desire to no desire to even go to trial. Like no desire. You think they'd want to go to trial? Like, let's go. There's no way. This guy is one of the worst. He's one of the worst we've ever seen here. He really truly is. He's the worst. I don't think I've known more of a bigger rapist in Niagara County than him.
No.
During everything that's going on, he tries to set up the DA's husband.
That too.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with that?
Oh,
Nothing?
they keep a journey.
They keep a journey.
Yeah.
Keep a journey.
With
They're
Shaq.
gonna drag that out too.
With his shack, huh?
He
Well,
is
it's
on the
because the
registry.
DA was about as strong as a piece of cardboard in the wind. I mean, she was terrible. She
Yeah, I
didn't even
met her.
stand up for herself, let alone for the victims.
Yeah.
Was that-
And they want all this credit.
Terrible.
They're mad that people didn't agree
Terrible.
with them and their decision.
Yeah, we blistered her out in the parking lot that day.
Yeah.
Everything She needed.
Yeah.
Of course, they ain't gonna help her. She's
Of course, we don't agree. What do you think? You threw away 3 felonies too. How do you agree with that? Now, and who would agree? That's why I kind of, if I wouldn't have. See, I don't want to do this. I want to hurt the women that were victims. But like, why did they even agree to that? Like that should have been the stopping.
What were
point.
they told?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I'd love to hear that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee they were definitely told, oh, he'll violate and
That's what they were told.
instantly, yeah.
He'll
Just like
violate
in
it, he'll go
Belter.
away for
Yeah.
44 years.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
Belter violated it. He didn't.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to him.
I
Right.
still say the people, Noel should have had a say in all this. There's no way those cases should have been tossed out.
No.
Yeah.
With the other, that should have been a whole different story.
They didn't even talk to them.
No, didn't even care,
They
didn't want to.
answer those.
Yeah, exactly what they were told. Yeah. So he's still out and about, so everyone pay attention. I haven't seen him, but yeah, stop with the Niagara action too. I haven't seen him around.
But he's
luckily.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, because he's hiding out in Lockport,
Yeah.
but probably the
Very
town of
true.
Lockport, I bet. Yeah, so he's out in the town. He got him. He's doing good, and he's working
$310,000 house.
Buffalo Fuel. What's it called?
Buffalo
Biodiesel.
Biodiesel.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone sent me a private message. I just dawned on me about Buffalo Biofuel.
Oh, really?
To Citizens United's private message,
Oh.
just about how he must have worked there before, just saying how they don't care at all who they hire.
Yeah.
They'll take anyone.
Yeah, I can see
It does not matter. I think
Clearly.
they had another one in there. Remember that one name at working when we looked at the roster?
Mhm.
Yeah, there was another one.
I think there was.
Yeah, but I'm quite sure that the other people around him that work there have no idea.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And that's messed up.
Because,
'Cause there's women there.
yeah, because on the news, it was not a big deal on the news.
No,
It wasn't plastered all over, unless what we did.
yeah,
No.
no,
Yeah.
they didn't. And then there's women sitting there, and because obviously he goes for people that are weaker.
Yeah.
There's
So he'll probably end up getting his probation officer.
yeah.
'Cause-
Why the I don't get it. But anyways, I don't know. Someone else got to come forward. You know what makes me mad about that? No, I'm not mad at Bill, but just the fact that there's 3 other people that did come forward
Yeah.
that got thrown out.
And why? Come forward so they can be treated like shit and harassed by people that don't agree, like his father and
Well, that's the case. That's what gets you scared. I think that's what scares victims.
Yeah.
My ex assaulted me in front of our kids, caught on video. The DA literally told me to drop it because it wouldn't go anywhere.
wow.
He was a police officer in Niagara Falls. He got 3 months probation that was stayed because he wouldn't be able to carry in the line of duty. The DA is just as as
Yeah.
corrupt as the judge. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that story. That's
Yeah, that's
that's
ridiculous.
sick. They have it on video.
So who was the DA here? Was it Seaman?
Yeah, you're right. Could be him or Watazik. It has to be.
Mm.
My God. I firmly believe he was given such a sweet deal because the perps within our government don't want people to know he was sex trafficking the 16-year-old via the position with CPS. Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
I agree completely
Yeah.
with that. Definitely.
And Kimberly says yes.
Yes.
So it was
Seaman.
Seaman. Yeah. He's a good friend of Nick D'Angelo's too.
His wife yelled at me, man. Remember that time? She
Mhm.
called the house and called my cell phone and said, he's a good man. Don't ever talk like that about him on your podcast. Please give him a chance.
Yeah, well, we'll see what he does.
That was on the
this.
radio show.
Oh, was that back when I was on radio?
That was back
oh,
on
wow. That
radio.
was back on AM radio.
And even back
God.
then, I fell asleep when these people called to berate you. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, all
Like
right.
Sabretooth's mother
Yeah,
when she called to berate me. That
that's
wasn't-
always
Yeah, I know.
my sign to get the pillow.
Did we see her? No, I don't know if we saw Stacy's post. We'll have to look after the
we'll
show.
look at it.
All right. I had a thing about Biden. Maybe I'll save it. I don't need to play his
Always
thing
time
now.
for bed.
I mean, I could play it. It's fun. I mean, it's fun.
It's
It's just-
always
yeah, all right. So we'll wrap. Well, let me show you this thing. My whole point of showing this, and you guys can tell, there is everyone has them. I don't care who you are. Maybe Donald Trump doesn't because he's his own media. He's his own media guy himself. That like handles you. Like this guy who's 80 years old, he isn't doing his own tweeting.
Yes.
Right.
Someone's doing this for him. And watch what they put out here.
If you're anything like me, you like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing. Sports drinks bottles are smaller. The bag of chips has fewer chips, but they're still charging it just as much. And as an ice cream lover, what makes me the most angry is that ice cream cartons have actually shrunk in size, but not in price. I've had enough of what they call shrinkflation. It's a ripoff. Some companies are trying to pull a fast one by shrinking the products little by little and hoping you won't notice. Give me a break. The American public is tired of being played for suckers. I'm calling on companies to put a stop to this. Let's make sure businesses do the right thing now.
People are getting killed by his illegal aliens.
There he is. I just thought, like, sometimes you wonder if they want him to, like, if whoever is handling him puts him in the worst positions possible. Like, it's crazy that because there's media people, we know that, like with marketing, you see it with Dominique and the stuff she does.
Right.
There's people that run the social media. Why would they do this? They make him look ridiculous.
He makes himself look ridiculous.
Yeah, but they put it out.
They're desperate for distraction.
Maybe they're going to throw him out.
They're desperate. They're going to do everything they can.
Or drop out, I should say.
They're going to. Anyway.
Maybe he drops out. Let's see what Stace said real quick. This New York State trooper was smashed and drove all around with speeding and hit a disabled person. Ronald Wilson never arrested, just 35 days, no pay.
Wow. It's me, Jerry.
Wow.
All right, Jerry and Robin are fired.
So anyways.
We gotta go sit at the bad kids table.
All right, go sit at the transition table.
Oh.
Oh, did I say that?
So that, yeah, I mean, it's not,
Tradespeople not against you. Sorry.
that's terrible right there. That's unbelievable that people,
There's a guy.
I don't know. And this, you know what's even more sick is this. How the hell
Yeah.
is that on
Kim,
video?
if you're still watching, if you ever want to come on and talk about your situation with your ex-husband and expose them for all that stuff, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, definitely. We're always here. Yeah, absolutely. That's disgusting. And it's so disgusting. You're right. I've been saying that about DAs. They're lazy. They don't want to do the job. Like they don't want to go to trial. It's easier to get whatever the plea deal is. And they congratulate themselves that we did great.
Right.
Kimberly says, thank you. That post I was mentioning was his internal affairs discipline report. Well,
Wow.
geez. All right. We should probably get going. Wrap it up. We hit that hour.
Video I want to show you.
Oh, do you after?
Yeah,
Okay.
after the show.
Not for the show. All right. Anything else, Noel, that we should remind? No? Just the Niagara action. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm doing Puckett with William Akins. I know that, all the hockey stuff. And what do I got coming up?
It's always great hockey news if anybody likes
I'm
hockey.
I'm sorry, I'm from the Buffalo area. What's hockey?
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that?
Then we have Dennis isn't this week. It's gonna be the following week on Wednesday. Then from what I understand.
Right.
I think, yeah, I don't know. Friday is my show Spitball and Sports with Scott Taggart. We'll be doing a lot of and Robin. We'll be doing a lot of NFL stuff. And then Saturday Falls Count Anywhere with Krista Carlo and Charlie Turner. And then she's the managing, she's the producer, managing, not even just the producer, she's managing it. All right. So anyways, that's all we got. This was episode 182. Thank you for all the stars. Thank you for all the comments. This was great today.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Good
people
dialogue.
coming here and talking. I would love to have the opportunity for some people to even come on.
Yeah.
Like if you
Yeah.
disagree with anything,
That's when you
come
should
talk
come
to
in.
us. That would
Right.
be great. You know what? I'm starting to lose where to go. I'm like Biden. I'm having a hard time here.
No, you're not.
No. I mean, I just can't find the stuff. All right, let's go. Well, we'll see everybody Monday.
Bye.
Bye. Thank-